In this video, I'm going to be teaching how to draw a biomorphic floral pattern, also known as an arabesque pattern. To draw this pattern, we're going to need a pencil, a ruler, paper, tracing paper, and tape. These patterns consist of three main elements: a spiral. Most patterns have spirals in the background from which leaves and other floral elements sprout out from. The next element is symmetry and structure. These are key to a harmonious design. Lastly, rhythm and balance. This is achieved by repetition and careful arrangement. There are four main motifs that we can break down these patterns. The first one is the Rumi motif. Rumi is from the Turkish word Rum, which refers to Rome or Byzantium. This motif can be broken down into two shapes: a C shape or an S shape. A C shape has one curve, whereas an S shape has two curves. To draw the Rumi motif, you start off with a C shape like this, and then an S shape, which starts at the top. You have a slight curve, and another curve at the bottom. Let's draw it again. A C shape and an S shape. Another way to draw it is you can draw a circle in the middle like that, and then connect it like this. And from this circle, we can draw another Rumi motif. So this C shape will come out like this. We'll join it like that with an S shape. Another way a Rumi motif can be drawn is starting with an S shape. This is sort of like a backwards S. It's a very slight curve at the top and a larger curve at the bottom. And then it has sort of C shape. This one you can also draw with the circle. And from here, just like the previous one, you can add another motif. So this is the Rumi motif. Next is Tepelic. The Tepelic motif is a type of Rumi motif. The word Tepelic means hilltops. These red lines are my lines of symmetry. To draw the Tepelic motif, I'm going to start off by drawing three circles. The first circle is on the right side, like this. The second circle is on the left side. You want to make the circles the same size. And the last circle is in the middle. Like this. And we're going to do that on these two as well. Starting with the first circle, I'm going to draw an S curve. So this one starts at the top of the first circle, has a slight curve at the top, and a much larger curve at the bottom. Like this. the next part of the shape is the circle. So we're going to draw in the circle like this. So this is half of the shape, and the other half is symmetrical. So we're going to go ahead and draw the mirror image. This is our first topelic motif. The second one starts off the same, like that, with our S shape, backwards S, slight curve at the top, and a larger curve at the bottom. Next, you're going to trace along the circle, but this time we're only going to trace about a quarter up until here. And then we're going to join this to the very center, like this. Now we're going to complete the pattern on the other side. I'm going to draw the mirror image. And to complete this motif, we're going to draw a little circle at the bottom. This is our second topelic motif. The third one, just like the previous two, the top is the very same. And then we're going to draw in a quarter of the circle just like this one. And then we're going to join it to the center. This time, instead of a sort of C curve, we're going to do an S curve. So it's going to have two curves. Goes a little like this. And then we're going to draw the mirror image. And there we have our third topelic motif. Next, I'm going to draw 3 curved lines. I'm going to draw these topelic motifs on a curved line, and I'm only going to be drawing half of the motif this time. So starting off over here, this is going to be like our line of symmetry. So you'd have this S shape here, and then the circle. That's our first topelic motif. Second one, you have our top. You draw a quarter of the circle, and then you bring it in, and then you can draw a little half circle. And the last one, you draw the quarter of the circle, then you draw the S curve. Now you might be wondering why I've drawn this on a curved line, and that's because, as I mentioned in the beginning, biomorphic patterns have spirals a lot of the times in the background. You have lots of spirals, and from these spirals you have other motifs that sprout out. And this is how the topelic motif would be drawn on a spiral. So we can imagine this as a spiral, like this. This is how that motif would be drawn on the spiral. Next, we have the Kapali motif. And Kapali means closed form. Instead of one line of symmetry, there are 2 lines of symmetry. I'm going to draw these 2 lines of symmetry. That's going to be my first line of symmetry. And that's going to be my second line of symmetry. I'm going to draw a dotted line. This is going to help us create a few more guidelines. And I'm going to draw another diagonal line in the opposite direction. The Kapali motif, just like the topelic motif, the top part is the same. You have that sort of pointed dome shape, and that is going to come up until this dotted line, from the vertical red line up until this diagonal line. So it's going to go like this. Then we can draw in the mirror image. And the same at the bottom. but it's going to be upside down this time. Now we have our two pointed dome shapes, and now we're going to join this by a sort of oval shape. That's going to go like this. It helps to sort of lightly draw it in first. And then when you're happy with it, you can draw it in like that. And there you have a Kapali shape. Let's do another variation of this Kapali shape. Let's draw our lines of symmetry. Let's draw in our diagonal lines. So this one is going to be just like this one. It's going to have the pointed dome shape like this. And just like that one, let's start off with sort of like an oval shape, but we're going to draw the oval shape up until this red line here. And then we're just going to connect it down, sort of like a heart. So it's like a heart, but we stop over here. And then you can go ahead and draw in the other side. And you have a variation of the Kapali shape. Motif is the spiral shape. Moving on, this is the more fun part. We get to use these four motifs that we just learned about: the Rumi motif, the Tepelic motif, the Kapali motif, and the spiral, and we get to create a pattern. To do this, we're going to use tracing paper. So I'm taking my piece of tracing paper and I'm folding it in half. So I'm going to match the corners. Fold it in half, and then we're going to fold it once more. And match the corners like this. Next, I'm going to take my ruler and measure the shorter end of the tracing paper, and it is 4.5 inches. So I'm going to put my ruler against the longer end here. I'm going to measure out 4.5 inches and mark that on both sides. I'm going to draw a line connecting the two, and then just keeping my ruler there, I'm going to tear it off. If you don't want to tear it off, you could always cut it with scissors. Now, my tracing paper, you open this up. By folding it, what I've done is created lines of symmetry. So this is one line of symmetry, and this is the other line of symmetry. So I'm going to fold it back up again. We're going to be working so that the fold is on this side and this side. You want to be able to open your tracing paper like this. Here, we're going to be drawing 1/4 of our pattern. We're going to start by drawing a spiral. And our spiral is going to start over here. It's going to touch this line here, come all the way around, touch this bottom fold here, come up like that. So I'm gonna just trace it until I am happy with it. Once I'm happy with it, I'm gonna draw it in. At this end of the spiral, I'm gonna draw a little circle like that. Over here, I'm gonna draw a little motif that looks like a little shark fin. And at the end here, I'm going to draw a Rumi motif. So this is our C shape for the Rumi motif. We're going to add the S shape like that. And on this side of the spiral, I'm going to draw in a tepalik motif. And I'm going to draw the half tepalik motif. So I'm going to start off by drawing the circle like this, and then the S shape. So I have 4 motifs here. Next, I'm going to be drawing a Kapali motif. That's the closed form motif. To draw the Kapali motif, I'm going to be starting way up here. I'm going to put my ruler to join these 2 points so that I can draw in a diagonal line. So that's going to create a guideline for my Kapali shape. I want this Kapali shape to start at the top here and end at the bottom here. So starting here, I'm going to draw a pointed dome shape like that. I'm going to draw the half oval shape and the pointed dome shape at the bottom. So you see, if I was to reflect that over here, I would have a full Kapali shape. But over here, I'm going to draw another Kapali shape. It's going to start over here and connect to this Kapali shape here. So here again, I'm going to draw another pointed dome shape like that. And I'm going to bring it out like this. But this time, I'm not going to do the oval. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it down over here. Like that. Next, over here, I'm going to draw a tepalik shape. I'm going to draw another tepalik shape over here. I'm going to be drawing in some more Rumi motifs. The Rumi motif is going to come down like this. Over here, I have another Rumi motif. I'm going to erase the lines inside. I'm going to erase the lines inside the tepalik shapes as well. And there we have 1/4 of the pattern. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up like this. I'm going to turn it around so we're on this fold. When we open it up, it should open up like this, and the fold should be on this side. And I'm going to trace the pattern on this side, just exactly as you see it here. Once you're done tracing this part, you're going to open it up. You have half of the pattern. You're going to fold it horizontally. You're going to draw on this side the rest of the pattern. Once you're done tracing, this is the most exciting part. When you open it up, you have your completed pattern. And look how beautiful the symmetry is. We can identify the different motifs. Over here, we have our tepalik motifs. Over here and here, we have our Rumi motifs. We have our Kapali motif. And we have our spirals. We also have the 3 elements of biomorphic patterns. We have the spirals in the background where we have different motifs sprouting out. We have symmetry and structure, which creates this harmonious design. We have rhythm and balance with the repetition of the motifs and careful arrangement. Our next step will be how to transfer this pattern, which is on tracing paper, to a clean sheet of paper where we can paint or color using whatever medium we like. Over here, I have a clean piece of paper, and I am going to take my tracing paper. This is the side that I drew on. I'm going to put that side against the watercolor paper, and I'm going to center the pattern, and I'm going to tape it down. Once I've taped it down nice and secure, trace over the pattern one more time, and when I trace over the pattern, the pressure of tracing over it again will transfer the lead to the paper. Just like that. Now go ahead and trace the rest of the pattern. Once you're done tracing, you can remove the tracing paper. And you can go over any parts that you missed. Now you are done your biomorphic pattern, and you can go ahead and color it or paint it any way that you like.